For centuries, the world has watched Jerusalem with awe, curiosity, and prophetic expectation. At the heart of this attention lies a single question: will the third temple ever rise? And if so, what would it mean for the future of humanity, biblical prophecy, and the unfolding of end-time events? Today, whispers across the Holy City suggest that something is stirring, something ancient, something foretold. Before we start, we'd like to ask for your support. If you enjoy our video, please hit the like button. This will help us reach more people and create content for you. Now, let's get started with today's video. To understand why the idea of a third temple sends shockwaves through religious scholars, archaeologists, and prophecy watchers alike, we must journey back thousands of years. The first temple, built by King Solomon, was the crown jewel of Israel's faith, a place where God's presence dwelled and where nations gathered to witness its glory. But in 586 BC, the Babylonian Empire swept in, destroying the sacred structure and exiling the people. Centuries later, after the return from Babylon, the second temple rose, but it lacked the Ark of the Covenant and the radiant glory that once filled Solomon's temple. This second sanctuary stood for nearly 600 years until the Roman Empire tore it down in 70 AD. Since then, the Temple Mount has been left without the temple that once defined the spiritual identity of a nation. Yet, the Bible speaks of a third structure, a temple that would rise in the last days, a place mentioned in Daniel, Ezekiel, Zechariah, and Revelation. Many believe that the construction of the third temple would signal the approach of prophetic milestones, the appearance of the Antichrist, the restoration of ancient worship, and events leading up to the return of the Messiah. But why is the world suddenly paying attention now? Because in recent years, a movement has quietly grown in Jerusalem. The Temple Institute, a well-established organization, has spent decades preparing for the possibility of rebuilding the holy sanctuary. They have crafted priestly garments, restored ancient instruments of worship, and even created the golden menorah using biblical specifications. They have trained men who belong to priestly lineage and studied the rituals that haven't been practiced for nearly 2,000 years. And perhaps the most astonishing development, reports claim that the red heifer, a rare and biblically required animal for ritual purification, has appeared after centuries of absence. For many, this was more than news. It was a sign. Meanwhile, archaeologists and scholars continued to debate the exact location of the ancient temples. While tradition places them on the current Temple Mount, some researchers argue for alternative sites nearby. If such claims were verified, it could potentially reshape both historical understanding and political possibilities. At the same time, tensions rise as religious groups consider the implications of building on one of the world's most contested pieces of land. The Temple Mount is sacred not only to Jews but also to Muslims, making the prospect of new construction a global flashpoint. And yet, biblical prophecy suggests that against all odds, the third temple will stand once more. But what would it mean if construction actually began? For millions of believers, it would be a sign that prophecy is unfolding in real time. Daniel speaks of daily sacrifices being restored and later halted by a ruler who sets himself up in the temple. Jesus referred to this moment as the abomination of desolation. Revelation describes a final conflict centered in Jerusalem, a spiritual and physical battle echoing through the ages. The prophets do not portray the third temple merely as a building, but as a stage upon which the final chapters of human history will play out. Some see it as a sign of hope, a return to ancient faith, and a step toward the Messiah's arrival. Others view it as a warning, signaling times of upheaval, deception, and global change. Across the world today, people watch Jerusalem with heightened anticipation. Every archaeological discovery, political shift, or religious announcement sparks new discussions. Not because the Third Temple exists yet, but because for the first time in centuries, the idea no longer seems impossible. Architects have designs, priests have training, instruments are ready, prophecies are being studied as never before. Whether one approaches the topic from faith, history, or global politics, one thing is certain. The rise of the Third Temple would change everything. It would reshape the spiritual landscape of the world, ignite debates across nations, and stir emotions from hope to fear. And so the question remains, are we witnessing the early steps toward that prophetic moment? Or is the world simply drawn to mystery and symbolism? Either way, the idea of the Third Temple rising stands as one of the most compelling mysteries of our time, ones whose answers may soon step out of prophecy and into reality. Like, share, and subscribe for more end-time revelations, because the time is short.